train well. Exclusive to The Drive with Robin Ross.
So if social media and the news is anything to go by, there is something rotten in the state of Cape Town. What is happening? Why does it stink?
Yeah. And initially, everyone was like, oh, it's load shedding, it's the sewage pumps, it's this, it's that. Turns out there was a ship that docked in the Cape Town harbour. It is en route from Brazil to Iran. It has 19,000 live cattle on board. And apparently the situation is not good.
No, it's not. It's not. The SPCA went on board. They had to, unfortunately, euthanize 5 of the cattle there. But they can't really do anything about it. We spoke to Jock Peacock from the NSPCA. He said, we asked him, like, if you want to remove this, how do you do it? Is it possible? And he said it's easier said than done.
Apart from not being the owners of the animals, these animals are from Brazil and may carry serious disease which is alien to South Africa, which in turn could create a further severe animal welfare conundrum.
So they are stuck on that ship. They cannot really come down. And just before you say anything, so I asked him, listen, are you just going to leave them there? Are you guys planning on doing anything else? Because we do have laws to keep these companies accountable. But he said any legal action or otherwise will only keep them on that death ship for longer. So the SPCA is saying, let them go, get them out of here so that they can get off the ship.
If you've seen the news, it's the conditions are beyond terrible. There is literally, manure and urine and stuff lying all over the decks where these animals are having to lie in and stand in. Apparently the smell of ammonia is so strong you can barely breathe on that boat at the moment. It is smelling out an entire city and it's one single ship. I can't imagine what being on the ship is like. I cannot imagine living creatures in that condition. And I mean, for the SPCA to go, listen, we can't even, it would be worse for the animals for us to fight this in courts because then the ship would have to sit there while the lawyers got involved and however long that took. And that would be worse for the animals than simply sending the ship on the way. That is a big statement.
Luister, wanneer kan die skip vamoes? When can the ship get to its destination so that all this cattle can actually go where they need to go?
Well, from what I understand, they're leaving Cape Town. If not today, then early tomorrow morning. I think the plan was to have left yesterday already. But the SPCA got involved and the authorities got involved with checking everything out. The ship is stopping in Buffalo City in East London because it needs to load up some more sheep because it's not full yet. And then we're going to head north with all of that. And I went and looked up the whole world of like live animal export. And it's obviously a huge business around the world and it happens all the time. And it's something I've literally never thought of. I didn't know there were container ships full of living creatures. I just assumed, like I think most people did, from an abattoir, carcasses got loaded up into cold things and then moved like that. I didn't realize we were shipping tens of thousands of live animals in awful conditions around the world.
Yeah, they're going to the Middle East, right? So in the Middle East, you don't have space to breed these animals. So it's a very big business in South Africa, but our people are very, very angry about this because they have been in the courts with the SPCA to try and get their stock to go because thousands of job opportunities. So we spoke to Theo de Jager he was at the World Farmers Organization. He says it's the buyer, the seller, and Brazil that have to be held accountable here. And he says he's very angry because this ship is undoing years of hard work for South African exporters who send off livestock. Here's what he had to say about this.
I'm angry that the operators dare to dock here whilst we have a similar struggle from another angle with our livestock exports to a similar destination. We have done such a lot to make sure that the welfare of our animals is being managed on a different level.
Daar is natuurlijk die kwessie van die diere wat op daai skip sit, but I am concerned about the wider kind of environmental impact of the ship being there and everything that is coming off it. Daar is 'n groot omgewingsrisiko wat ek dink ook na gekyk moet word. Daar's natuurlik baie opinies en baie mense wat in 'n sekere maniere dink, maar watter impak het so iets op die omgewing van daai stad?
Absolutely. It's the welfare of the animals, it's the welfare of the people, it's the welfare of the water and the ocean environment around Cape Town. It's all of that kind of stuff. It's, if a ship is that dirty, for lack of a better word, like, how do you clean it when you're out at sea, kind of thing? And I went and looked up this whole industry, and the words thrown around continuously are, highest ethical standards, well regulated, etc., etc. In the real world, the ship that's out at sea, no one's checking. No one's bothering to see. I read things that every ship has veterinarians on board and professional animal carers and so on. This doesn't look like that at all.
It doesn't. But dis die uitsondering, soos wat ek verstaan, is dit die uitsondering. En wat dit moeilik maak is 'n baie sensitiewe onderwerp. Daar's baie mense wat probeer om internasionaal riglyne hiervoor te stel, maar dan jy nou ook mense wat sê moenie met diere handel nie. Daar's mense wat sê handel met diere, en altwee hierdie pole maak dit onmoontlik om 'n goue middeweg te kry om hierdie realiteit doeltreffend te bestuur.
Yeah, it is a Brazilian ship, and as the man from the SPCA, Jacques, was saying, the people who should be held in account are there, and this is making international news, and I hope it keeps making international news, and I hope people in Brazil pick it up and run with it and start asking questions, because frankly it's unacceptable. We can't have this happening. We can't be treating living creatures that badly. The arguments about should we be eating meat or not in the first place, I'll leave it up to you to decide what you want, but I think everyone will agree if we're going to do it, you do it right.